Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the BGST after Sony show. And you know what? I didn't expect to be doing this for another half hour or so, but Sony was like, hey, let's not go ahead and do a good show this year. Let's let's just go ahead and stink it up for a while. And that's exactly what they did. Everybody was giving Microsoft a hard time over their E3 conference. They did more than they did 2 times the length of Sony's show. 2 times, folks. Think about that for a second, right? First of all, I want to say this. If you guys didn't watch the pre-show, right, this is what we found out in the pre-show. They showed off NAC 2, which is coming out this year, and they showed off Gran Turismo Sport, which is coming this year. Gran Turismo Sport looked like hot garbage. That's why they probably didn't have it on the stage. Microsoft showed off Forza Motorsport 7. It looks like fire. It looks amazing. They show off Gran Turismo Sport. Those are your 2 games you're getting this year, folks. Yep. You're also getting DLC. What kind of DLC? Uncharted DLC and Horizon Zero Dawn DLC. That's right. Horizon Zero Dawn and Uncharted DLC. That's what kicked off your Sony PlayStation Conference 2017. How do you feel, people? Look, I'll run down everything they showed because I wrote it all down. Uncharted DLC, Horizon Zero Dawn DLC, Days Gone demo again for the 3rd time in 2 years. Monster Hunter World confirmed to be Xbox One 2. Shadow of the Colossus remake 2018. Let me point out that Shadow of the Colossus had a remaster last gen already, so this is a remake of the remaster coming next year. Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, which comes out this year, multiplat. Call of Duty World War II, multiplat comes out this year. Skyrim VR, I like that. Nobody else did. Star Child VR, The Inpatient VR, Final Fantasy Fishing VR, Bravo Team VR, Moss VR. God of War looked really, really good.
Final Fantasy Fishing VR? That was a VR? Oh, God. Shit.
Yeah. That was Fishing VR.
Yeah. God of War has a 2018 release date. Detroit Become Human, no release date. Destiny 2, and they closed it with Spider-Man. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So they showed 17 games. 1, 2, 3,
I think 9 VRs.
6.
Hey, crap, you on your shit right now.
6 VR. 6 VR, right? Yeah. 2 DL. Well, I don't even count the DLC as games, right? I'm not okay. So they didn't show that many games. Again, there was nothing that we saw this year that we didn't know about last year, with the exception of a remake of a remaster. Who the hell is doing that?
That's not me.
Yo.
That's me. That's me. I just wanted to hear you loud and clear.
Okay, damn. I was like, what the hell is that all about?
We're doing it live.
Yeah. So anyway, listen. They had the shortest E3 that they've, I think, ever had, and last year was short. So you can say, well, yeah, the Days Gone thing. Even if you like that, there's no release date. Spider-Man is next year. God of War is next year. Yeah.
Are you saying that Sony's E3 event was shorter than Nintendo's Treehouse event?
I don't know which one's going to be shorter.
Crap. They got a dude tweeted this out. Chris the Gamer 1. Give him credit. Sony 2015 E3, 120 minutes. 2016, 75 minutes. 2017, 60 minutes. 2018, 45 minutes. -- 2021, hello and good night.
Yeah.
That's basically where we're at.
Can I ask you guys a question here? Their dreams E3, which was a couple of their first Dreams E3, right? That showed off stuff like Final Fantasy 7, right? Where's that? Where was Kingdom Hearts? I know that's not exclusive. Where's
where's Sucker Punch's game?
Where's Sucker Punch's new game?
I love how everybody. I want to say this again, and I want to say it on Crap's channel. I don't come on a lot of people's channels that much anymore. But hear me out real quick. Stop giving Sony credit for things they haven't done. Exactly. Everybody today, all day long, everybody, and a lot of Xbox guys too. You're all out there, well, Sucker Punch's game is going to come out in Star Wars Battlefront, and Mooch, you don't know what you're talking about. Marketing deals are everything. You guys have to understand something. We will give credit where credit's due. God of War 4 was good. Spider-Man was good. Okay, done. Everything else you guys talked about today is pie in the sky. Yeah. Nothing was shown. Don't give credit where it's not due. Okay, and that's the problem.
Guys, check this out. Right after Sony's conference, just to let everybody know, our buddy Phil Spencer just like, Destiny 2 will launch on all consoles September 6th.
Yeah.
So he's letting everybody know.
Hey, you know what? I want to give Mooch a little bit of props real quick because we were talking about this whole situation with who's going to have marketing rights, right? Who has marketing rights? It doesn't matter. I can emphatically say it didn't matter this year because there was no stage presence whatsoever. There was no live demos. Nobody was like, here's Destiny or any of this kind of stuff. It didn't matter. The games that they showed was like trailers. You didn't even need E3 for that. It was absolutely horrible.
Yes.
That was one of the worst E3s I've ever seen. And I'm not saying that there wasn't a few bright spots. I'm just saying as a whole, that was absolutely horrible. That is what you call a company that's content with taking your cash without offering you any goddamn thing in return. They're just like, hey, guess what? We're just going to coast by with the same garbage we showed you last year. And again, it's not going to release this year, but hey, we're Sony, so you'll suck it up and like it, right?
Yeah,
So
the arrogance is absolutely ridiculous. And also, you know, thank you, Crap, because you didn't give me my props, but I guess because
you know what? No, I was getting around to you, man. I'm pumped up right now. I'm pumped up.
Because I remember when everybody was on BGST and I was saying, look, Microsoft is going to be fine. The marketing deals is not that big of a deal because of the fact that that money is going to go to Xbox first. I said Xbox games might be, you know, a little sparse with those big AAAs because they're setting up for next year with the Halos. We was all assuming that Fable was going to be shown. It's not, but next year is going to be a really big year for the AAAs for Xbox. This right here just shown that all this money that Sony has put into the marketing deals, they killed themselves because everybody was expecting them to show the games like they did at the beginning of this year. Not remembering that 90% of those games were fucking delayed. And they're going to do this to you again. So get ready for another sparse moment and you're getting more delays out of this. Because
hey, where's all the people? Where's all the people that bitched that Microsoft had no surprises, right? Now you can turn that shit around and say, Sony lost because they had no surprises. Where was all the people that was premature jumping on me saying Microsoft won E3? Look at the E3 conferences we saw. Microsoft by far had the longest and the strongest, baby. That thing was gold.
Yo, Microsoft, to me, Microsoft surprised me with a lot of this shit. Yo, Ashen, I didn't expect Ashen to look like that. Metro came out of nowhere, in my opinion. That was a huge surprise. There was nothing on Sony's side with that.
Sony showed you nothing new, and I said this, and people were like, I can't wait for tonight's show. Shout out to, I think it was Demon Wolf. You know, Demon Wolf, you got to understand something. You know, he's a good guy. He's definitely, I think he's pro Xbox. Not really sure these days, but like he always says, like, you know, he's like, well, no, because Demon Wolf was like always like, he said, I can't wait for tonight's show. I said, if you can't wait for it, watch last year's. It's the same thing. Like, this is the point I'm trying to make to everybody is that we saw, Crap is right. We took flack for the past 24 hours that Phil didn't come up there and surprise anybody.
Hey, you know what? And
neither did Sony.
I'm paying attention to all you supposed quote-unquote Xbox dudes that shit all over Xbox the last 24 hours talking about what a horrible conference that is. Now own up to it, right? Get up on it, man. Get up on it.
Like all day tomorrow. Crap, you're right. I'm going to back you up. All the Xbox guys that tweeted something out, anything, even if it was a smidgen of I didn't see this, all I'm asking is, what didn't you see tonight? And there's going to be a lot of tweets. You should be tweeting a couple of times.
Yeah, exactly. Like next gen, what did you think, man? I mean, God of War looked good. Spider-Man looked great.
I'm going to get the whole truth, so help me Xbox, right? Listen, and not to repeat what I said yesterday. I wasn't as down on Microsoft E3. You know, I don't like the indie stuff, but I was going in looking forward to multiplayer. You guys know I don't care for Rare and those type of games, and I was more interested in the multiplayer and seeing better graphics. Okay, moving forward, Microsoft to me could have had a mic drop moment. Didn't show, I guess, one new AAA IP, and that's what everybody's beating them about. Right, give you that. So then we have today's E3 from Sony. And the games that they show, I like the No Days Gone, looks amazing. We saw that.
Nice.
We saw that at PSX. I'm not going to hate. You know, you guys know I'm a God of War fanboy, and I was always interested in Spider-Man. But we sold all those games last year at PSX. We didn't get and even Detroit, we didn't get not one new IP, I guess, from Sony at all. You know what I mean? So those Spider-Man looks amazing. You know what I mean? But if you're going to be honest about this, and Microsoft won E3. They showed 40 some odd games, whether you like them or not.
22 console exclusives.
You know what I mean? And another game that was news from Microsoft that no one's really talking about. What's that? The battlegrounds and stuff, or
PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds.
You know what I mean? So now it takes away. Hey, we didn't get Lawbreakers or whatever the hell you call that shit. Battlegrounds
didn't even show that tonight.
Yeah, you know what I mean. So
is this a nice time? But Z, don't you think this is a really nice time to welcome everybody home to Xbox that left? Everybody, listen. Everybody, listen. Allow me to quote the Statue of Liberty. We'll take you're tired, you're hungry, you're most wanted. We'll take anybody. We are more than welcome to take. Come on back.
Listen, they have to. You're a big fan of the Game of Thrones. They have to walk down the streets butt naked. Shame.
If you're gonna make different criteria, that's fine. I'm always gonna back up what you say. But my point is this: this is truly everybody's coming back to Xbox moment. Yes. And if you don't realize it, you're about to have a rude awakening tomorrow morning.
You know what's crazy?
Rude awakening.
I did not hear from Worry not one goddamn time tonight. Where you at? Where you at, Worry? Tanky, Winky, where you at?
He's busy pre-ordering the remake of Shadow of the Colossus. Yeah.
Hey, I'd rather get that remake than fucking Voodoo Vince.
Hey man, I'd rather get Voodoo Vince, man. I'm just being honest.
Go ahead, all day and give us your damage control. Give it to us. What?
Well, check it out. I think they have the best
Xbox One by default.
You know what I'm saying? Nah, but
PlayStation 1 on default.
I mean, you know what? The problem is these games are not. There's nothing coming out 2017 crazy. That's
Knack 2, buddy.
That's the problem.
What? Gran Turismo
and Knack is not going to stand up to Crackdown.
Oh no, you got Noonie Cooney too.
What?
What?
Crackdown's gonna be really big then. If you compare Microsoft 2017.
But if you want to be technical and petty like I am, I was born petty. Conference wise, games shown, shit that impressed me, Sony did.
Oh, get out of here!
Send that shit to me.
God of War.
Come on.
I'll give Sony this. Sony had God of War. They had Days Gone. They had Spider-Man. Those all look fantastic. The rest of that shit was fucking garbage.
Let me ask all day a question. Let me ask you a question. You know all day? Ready? Now listen. I need you to be honest with the congregation. All right? Listen.
I'm always honest. What up?
And I was talking about you, to you. I'm sorry, today on the live stream, and you know we've been pretty down on Microsoft's E3, and again, and it's not me damage, this is me being honest.
Right.
And we've spoken throughout the year. You're my man. 50 grand.
Right.
One of your things you didn't like about Microsoft was the variety of the game. They do the same hit gears, Halo, this, that, and the other. And yesterday, they showed a whole bunch of shit that I'm not even interested in. I'm not interested in this game, but I understand.
You said the key word.
Cool. I understand what I eat don't make you shit. I get that. But when I'm saying this, they showed a variety of games, the Japanese games, everything, and you're still not happy or whatever the key. Like it no matter what Microsoft does, they can come out that bitch and cure cancer. Well, we still got HIV. You know, it's always gonna be something.
I can tell you right now, Xbox gamers are going to be happier with what they saw because they're actually going to be playing it.
But I came into Microsoft conference with the same mind frame as Z. I want the console to perform, the best version of the multiplats.
Yes.
You know what I mean? That's what I wanted. You know what I mean? But I did want to do it. Just one IP.
But here's the thing, though. Listen. All day. This ain't no spin. These are Lord's words. Gamescom is in 4 weeks.
I don't give a shit.
No. Listen. Listen. Real shit. Gamescom's in 4 weeks, and Microsoft uses give us 2 new exclusives or announcements at Gamescom. It's been like that forever, right? And. For the first 3 years of this generation, the first 3 years of this generation, everything's been about Sony having a better version on the multiplats.
Right.
Yeah. Everything.
Well, they lost that now.
So when Microsoft comes on stage, show you what's that Anthem, what's that, all these goddamn, and it looks amazing.
Ashen,
That's a plus.
I forgot about Ori and the goddamn Blind Forest.
Yeah, Ori too.
Listen, graphically, Ori and the Blind Forest look better than anything Sony showed tonight.
Does Sony got to hold up a little bit to like, where's this Dreams game that they showed off a couple years ago? Where's Shenmue? People invested their money. They trotted that guy out there and asked for money, and they haven't shown off anything since then.
Wait, listen. I want to say all day.
BGST family, right? This is the BGST family, right? Y'all just heard what Next Gen just said and didn't check him?
Well, what'd I say?
He said Ori and the Blind Forest is better than anything Sony showed.
He was
graphically.
I mean, did you not look at that game graphically and not be like, wow?
Yeah, he ain't really wrong. All day, listen, all day. Wait. Let's put all day. First of all, I want to pay all day a little bit of credit real quick. First of all day, even though all day's doing his old PlayStation thing, I love all day. Yeah, all day.
I told this dumbass
all day is good people.
Because he's good. He might be so wounded he can't even do GRG for a Saturday.
K-Man, you're dead.
All day's good people. All day's good people, man. Always welcome to the game with me. Hear me out. Go all day. Check it out though. People put all day on the hot seat yesterday. I'm gonna put them on a hot seat right now. What letter grade are you giving Sony right now?
B.
Oh,
a nice fat B.
Shit,
dude. They first of all, they had an extremely short show.
That smelled like hamburger that went bad yesterday. Listen to me real quick. Hold on a second, real quick. Listen, you gave Microsoft a C+ when they came out. Listen, just the first 20 minutes of Microsoft, the first 20 minutes with the beast of the Xbox One X. Already trumps what we saw tonight, but you gotta at least listen. I'll take your B. I'll take your B. Okay. But I want you to now, please, redo your Microsoft grade because it's not a C+. Because now let's put them head to head. The big boys. Listen, this was Balboa. All right, this was Balboa's big fight. Okay, and now what is it? What is it? Against Creed. Balboa versus Creed. They were in the match. And even though Creed might have won, people still were like, yo, Balboa can fight. What I'm saying to you right now is you saw them head to head. You got to regrade Microsoft now.
Oh, man.
15, hold on. Let me reiterate. 15 games shown by Sony, 15 games shown by Sony, 6 VR titles. 9 were re-reveals of games we already knew about. Just saying.
But we've seen more today. I mean, we know the negatives of it. We know the negatives of it, right? Games are coming out later, much later. We know that, right?
But the multiplats didn't even show well on their stage. What multiplat showed as well as Microsoft's last night?
Nothing.
Oh, of course not. Of course not.
That's what I'm saying. Oh, what do you think we saw more? Hey, let me ask you this. What would you guys say was the biggest waste of $120 million this year?
Yeah,
Sony's marketing rights.
Sony's marketing rights. If you guys on the chat think that all day is full of bullshit, put that L on the
yeah, hit that like button.
Let me tell you this. Wait, hold on. Let me tell you this.
Because you're not being realistic.
When you open a can of alphabet soup, alphabet soup, all L's come out.
Look at these L's. Look at these goddamn L's. Look at these L's. Look at these goddamn L's. It's
that's almost 1,400 L's all day. That's 1,400 L's right there, man.
Yo, somebody just woke up and put an L and went back to bed.
Damn. Okay.
Look, but I mean, from my personal opinion, I think the games, I just cared about them more. Just care about them more, bro.
I guess that's preference.
Yeah, that's your preference.
Going.
Hey man,
okay, you don't feel ripped off for 30 minutes though? You don't like that? Doesn't really boil your blood?
I enjoyed what I saw, bro.
They can come out for 10 minutes. They can come out for 10 minutes.
Life is Strange.
Hey,
last night.
Yo, they didn't bring out no developers came out, no third party ownership came out, nothing came on stage. It was Sean Lane.
Weird.
Sean Lane came out the second time he came out. He was licking his fingers from eating in the back. He's like,
dude, I was so.
You guys are still here,
guys. I was so blown away by the show ending. I didn't believe it. I'm sitting there. You can go back and read it. I'm like, is that it? Is that the end?
When K-Mega said that was it, I was like, no. I'm not even, I didn't even give into it. I wasn't even going to play along. I was like, that's bullshit. There's no way. It's an hour and a half. Everything's an hour and a half.
And the crowd was really confused because they were looking at each other saying, hey, is it over? Should we get up?
Somebody forgot to plant the Sony crowd in the Sony audience with the microphones. Because
I gave them the B with the slight edge, bro. It wasn't.
Here's the problem I got with, and this ain't about all day. My problem is even if you want to give them a B, this show was cut by a third. Like, That's crazy.
You know what?
Right?
I think
you're
it's
right. That's not right.
Probably some multi-plats that they probably just cut out because whatever they showed that would be pro-enhanced, everybody would know that, hey, Scorpion's going to look a lot better than that.
Right. Crap said that earlier. Let me say this. This is the second year in a row that Microsoft has snuck attacked them pre-show. Like, usually it's Sony sees what Microsoft does and then reacts. Microsoft's actions last year made them show 20 minutes of Days Gone extra that nobody wanted to see. Yeah. And this year, it cut them by a half hour because they again didn't have an answer.
Hey, let
and
me
you
say
had 24
this.
hours to prep.
Yes, they had 24 hours to prep and didn't do a good job. Not only that, well, the media hate on them because guess what Sony didn't show? Indies. Wow. They showed 0 indies.
They said they were doubling down on indies.
Microsoft bought them all.
Microsoft didn't buy them. They're not buying them. They're just free to publish.
Yeah, and this is the thing right here, right?
They bought them.
I said this earlier, and I'll say this again. Like, this actually shows that PlayStation, that the wells run dry. Because if you came with all these abundance of games at the beginning of 2017, which, like I said, that they're mostly delayed games, still, what you did is you put a taste in PlayStation gamers' mouth that this is what's happening now. PlayStation is on a roll. It's successful. It's the best-selling console out there. Nothing is stopping this freight train. But their arrogance alone just opened the door for Xbox. Just open the door for Xbox. Maybe not for this generation because there's such a astronomical lead, but for the Xbox X being that damn system that is absolutely future-proof. And PlayStation is going to have to hurry up and bring out this 5 because people are going to start taking notice. We're about to see the changing of the guard. So, like you said, Mooch, we welcome you back. Yep. They're going to start.
Right. But I mean, hey, for all of you guys on the panel, when has Crackdown been the end all be all?
Hey, did you see like that multiplayer is good? Did you see that we saw that footage we saw was in game, folks, of Crackdown 3? I thought it was a trailer.
Wait, did they show the multiplayer today? On the floor?
No. They showed today was about the campaign.
Yeah.
They're supposedly going to show more cloud multiplayer at Gamescom, but that was actually campaign footage. I thought it was CGI or like cutscene, but no. Phil Spencer said that is in-game stuff. To me, I don't know about you guys, but I'll take the tandem of Cuphead, Crackdown 3, Forza Motorsport 7 over Knack 2. Gran Turismo Sport. I'm just saying it's some DLC. It's an easy choice for what we're getting this year. It's Xbox all day and a new console.
I agree.
4K console.
I said that.
Yo, all day. Check this out. We just got PS4s like a few months ago. So this was an E3 I was looking forward to when it came to Sony, and they completely disappointed me, man.
Yo, for 2017, for sure.
Yo, how many people out there were guaranteeing God of War was coming out this year?
Not
no
me.
doubt.
I didn't think that shit was coming out.
Okay, but I said how many people. I didn't say how many days. Yeah, I said how many.
Jabbar said he said mark it down. It's coming out.
Etch that shit in stone. Put it as the 11th commandment. Yo, no doubt.
Here's the problem too. Here's another problem we're not thinking about. Is if all these games look at these games that Sony showed, right? That we're saying God of War and Spider-Man, which were definitely great shows tonight. Those were great, right? It was great. But hold up. But here's my problem. Those games needed to come out this fall to combat the Xbox One X. Now you've got Xbox One X out all this fall, all going into next year, and people are going to see its power. And don't get me wrong, Spider-Man, great. It'll do well. My point being is that what it was intended to do by holding up people buying, maybe not going over to Xbox, it's not going to do its job. It's not going to be a stopgate. It's just going to be the Sony faithful. And people, that's my point. It's the things that they wanted these first-party games to do aren't ready yet. And that hurts Sony.
There's not a reason to run out and buy a PlayStation if you're newcomer right now.
Right. Exactly all day. Exactly.
Let me ask you a question, Mooch or whoever, crap. Let me ask you a question. All right, so.
I'm sorry, Z. Let me just say this real quick. I'm listening to IGN, and they're finally giving Sony the work. They're like, this is terrible. This is terrible. Yeah. Where's the games that we were expecting? Why you couldn't just show us a trailer? Or it's a little bit of something ever of the missing of the Last of Us Part 2 being shown on the stage. That's what everybody was ready to see. Okay, go ahead, Z. I'm sorry.
My question is, you guys, you know what I mean? So 2017 is here. New hardware. Like, to me, I always think new hardware is E3, but new hardware, okay?
Multiplats are going to be king this year, and guess who has the best?
I mean, they've been king this whole generation. You know, people act like they forget their narrative.
Yes.
But leading into 2018, Microsoft, at the beginning of the year, they have
Sea of Thieves, State of Decay 2.
State of Decay, and and Sony has what?
God of War.
And was it No Days Gone, or was it?
Well, they didn't even say there's no release date.
Okay, but no release date. What could Microsoft do? You know what I mean? Or show, I guess, that's going to release next year, because we don't know what's coming out. Everything that we've been seeing for the last 2 years or whatever from Microsoft, we're getting now and next year. What can Microsoft do to combat Sony with some of these AAA exclusives?
Get on that phone.
Again, I think what we have to realize is they have partnerships that maybe just aren't ready to show up yet.
Okay, so they show 40 games, so and 22 are exclusive. Do you think that's going to be their answer? Those games, those exclusive to Sony's big games in 2018? I think
just giving more people variety is a good answer, right? Because as good as people thought Horizon Zero Dawn sold, they said 3.5 million. When you have 60 million consoles out there, that ain't a lot. You know, it just for purposes, we know that Forza Horizon 3 in the US only physically sold 2.5 million. So that's far less consoles and a far less smaller region than worldwide. You know what I mean? And people still say that failed. So again, I don't think that Sony has. I think Spider-Man will do well when it does release, because it's a Marvel thing, and those things are real popular now. But I don't think, like you said, maybe God of War. To me, you know what worries me about God of War? I'm worried that it's one of those games where you're gonna have to like babysit somebody and take them around, and they can get damaged, and you can't let them get damaged. You know what I mean? Like, I don't like escort missions in games, and they turned Kratos into Dados. And even though the game looks good and the game, you know what I mean, it doesn't give me that God of War feel. And having that kid tagging along isn't good. I'm sorry. No, I'm not saying that the game
takes away from the lore a little bit, right?
I don't want to play escort missions a whole game.
Not every game.
I was saying about God of War. I heard a lot of people saying that he's soft. God, he's always been sin. He wears his family ashes on his body, like he's always been.
Dude, but he doesn't have a kid tagging along the whole game.
Some games don't need to have. Some games just need to have mindless, crazy fun. And God of War was brutal. It was about the quick time events. You know what I'm saying? It was about the visual and the gore and just the adventure. Not every fucking game should be a story, though.
Can I leave you guys with a zinger? So Sony's Dreams conferences finally turned into a nightmare, because you can only announce shit so far out for so fucking long before it catches up to you, and that's the goddamn truth. Somebody get me some preaching music. That is the truth. When you got that fake CEO Kazurai, he tweets out totally savage. I told him they had to stop announcing new games until they actually release some of them. Bada boom. Like, that's the fucking truth. You cannot announce shit 3 years out and still not release it and expect to keep doing that, and people falling for it. If you're still falling for Sony's old dog and pony trick, then that's on you, folks. That's a you problem. That's not a me problem. That's a you problem. You guys want to keep falling for this shit? Fine. But guess what? Sony fucking relied on indies. They used indies early on when they had shit all.
Yep.
You guys fell for it.
Microsoft is back in the driver's seat. Crap. Mikey Barra tweets out an hour ago, which is exactly when the Call of Duty thing was being shown. Look forward to playing Call of Duty World War II on Xbox One X. They're back in their behavior. Yes. They know they have the console people want.
Does anybody on this panel know how many time exclusives did they announce for the conference?
We don't know. Who?
Microsoft.
I don't know.
Okay.
How many what? All day. What was the question?
He said how many timed exclusives.
I don't know. I mean, like Monster Hunter. Everybody was, that was talking about Sony was like,
that's probably time too.
That's coming to Xbox.
That's a multiplayer.
That's coming.
But out of those 22 games, maybe 10 are timed.
They didn't even have anything that blew me away, like a third-party new game, right? Like that Monster Hunter is doing nothing for anybody. That as far as I could tell, Microsoft had more Japanese games at their show than Sony.
Yep, they did. Yeah.
And they have no
Yeah, don't. I wouldn't get excited about Black Desert.
Microsoft had the games.
Oh man, come
Microsoft
on.
had the game.
I played it. I already played it.
Sony's E3 conference was a continuation of last year's,
Yep.
and the games still aren't coming out this year. That's unacceptable. Sorry, it's unacceptable.
The PlayStation experience should have been this year's E3 because that was one hell of a show. This should have been This should have been.
I can't agree with that. I agree with that.
How long was Sony's show? Was it 45, 55 minutes?
It was short. It was short.
It was horrible. It was horrible. Look,
And how long was that? Was they with that intro, and then they showed another extended demo of Days Gone. We've seen 3 demos of Days Gone now. We get it.
Xbox show DBZ, guys.
We've been seeing,
Xbox show DBZ. Get the fuck out of here.
That's a multiplayer.
Put it this way. First of all, when you go for substance, Xbox had more. When you go for variety, Xbox had more.
When you go for time, hardware, Xbox had more.
When you go for entertainment and flow, Xbox had more.
So basically, 2017, you got Knack 2, Ni no Kuni 2, Gran Turismo Sport.
Was Ni no Kuni in the conference?
So you got 3. It's 3 versus 3.
It's not really 3 versus 3.
All subjective.
I mean,
but we're talking about the conference.
Hey, check this out though all day. Stuff like PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds is coming out this year on Xbox. I mean.
Like the time as well, but I'm happy it's coming.
But I'm just saying, there's other games as well coming out.
Xbox is getting the Killing Floor. That's going to look fucking beast on the X.
I mean, look, everything's going to look better on Xbox One X.
Yeah, we know.
Everybody that kind of was jumping like, hey man, Xbox sucked. They lost.
But wait. Let me say this real quick.
Hold on.
Bother. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, people wonder why my name is Xbot. When you look at this like this, clearly Xbox One. All right. I look at this from a common sense standpoint. People got to be disappointed that God of War isn't coming out this year. They got to be, because they were so absolutely adamant that it was coming out this year. Spider-Man disappointed me because it said 2018. Didn't even say early 2018. Yeah. So I'm guaranteeing that is a holiday 2018 title.
Hey,
only an hour long. There are so many holes in this conference, and you have to be absolutely blind.
Okay.
To see it.
Xbot, this is the thing, though. No, I think that Spider-Man will come in the beginning of 2018 because as we've seen the pattern.
They would have said early. They
spent all that money on those marketing deals.
No, it doesn't matter. They would have said early 2000.
Yeah, like a couple of things. Okay, so like when you look at God of War, it says early 2018. So that they marked it down.
That's
and then
March.
Again, like Detroit. We saw stuff, but that was kind of boring.
They
and they didn't even show a release year. You know what I mean? And again, they showed 6 VR games, and I'm happy. I mean, I guess but some of those VR games look bad. The best one was Skyrim. Here we go. And the rest look like indie, yeah. And the rest were like these like indie VRs. Like as a VR holder and an enjoyer of VR, I hope they actually come out with some compelling VR stuff, please. Like the Skyrim thing is great.
Hey, Crab, are you sitting down in tidy whities with your VR on right now?
No, man. I got a bum shoulder, man, all week. I like.
Oh shit.
Yeah, so I haven't really been able to do much gaming, but just for me, this was a very cocky, complacent Sony. Would you guys agree with that?
Yes. Reminds me of the reveal of the PlayStation 3.
It's like somebody they were like, okay, guys, we can't be showing stuff that's 3 years out again because it confuses people. Like, where's Dreams? Where's
where is Dreams?
Where is Dreams? Exactly. Where's Shenmue 3? Where's Final Fantasy 8? Remember 7? Remember how that won them the E3 a couple years ago? Final Fantasy.
People were crying.
That's pathetic, bro. Final Fantasy 7 and Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah.
3 years out.
Exactly. Where are those games? Where's the games that Sony keeps showing off, right? Like, I'm not saying that Microsoft had a perfect conference by any means. I gave it a B, but at the same time, they went over and out. What was it, like an hour and 50 minutes or something, almost 2 hours, and it was games. Whether or not like you like them, you had to appreciate the variety. They're showcased. They're doing more for the industry now than Sony. They're showing the indies. They're showing everything on the big stage, and Sony seems like they're bottling up like they did with the PS3. They're not showing indies anymore. They're not doing anything. They showed the same. This was a repeat of last year's E3. I don't care what anybody says, and that should be unacceptable. If you're a PlayStation fan, I'm sorry. Like, I was hoping they'd show some good stuff too, and I'm sorry they didn't, man. That's not a me problem again. That's a Sony problem.
Yeah.
Sony's the one that's really kind of taking you guys for granted. They say no to backwards compatibility. Then they try to sell you a fucking remaster. That's what they do. Yeah. They sell you stuff over and over and over again, and you fools buy it. Stop buying into that shit. You know what? You know what? Listen, Minecraft is going to be able to be played between somebody on a Switch and somebody on an Xbox, somebody on a PC, a Switch, and an Xbox, somebody on a phone, Switch, PC, and Xbox. You know who said no? Sony. Again, they're for the players, right? But they give you a repeat E3. They say no to cross-platform play. They say no to backwards compatibility. They say no to EA access, and you clowns still buy into what they're selling, man. Get out of here. That was the joke of the century. Yeah. That was the worst E3 I've seen from Sony since Giant Enemy Crabs Flip Over. Yeah. That was horrible.
Oh, no. The PlayStation experience 2 years ago was the worst conference I've ever seen in my life. That was the worst conference. This is the second worst conference that I've seen from Sony. This was bad.
Sony is that abusive husband that tells you, "Oh, I'm not going to hit you again. I love you, baby," and then smacks you the next day.
I'm sorry. Like, I know, hey, and shout out to 1,500 plus watching this here, man. This is absolutely fantastic. We appreciate it. Hit the like button for me, man. I appreciate it. Xbox fam, stand up, man. You ain't got nothing to be ashamed of. Nothing. Microsoft absolutely did a fantastic job. You compare Microsoft's conference to any of these. You know what Sony's hoping for? Sony's hoping Nintendo does a good direct so they can go, Nintendo won, not Xbox. That's what they're hoping for.
But if Nintendo sells Metroid or some shit like that, everybody's going to gravitate to what Nintendo does and want them to be the ones to be the winner of the show. Look, the gamers won because believe it or not, you know what I'm saying? Every conference, regardless of how you felt, every conference of how you felt, they had games that I wanted to buy. I was not, my radar for Spider-Man was like, everybody talk about Spider-Man.
You see why I said that shit was going to be fire.
Spider-Man was crack. Like, it was better than God of War to me, and I'm a huge God of War fan. I'm not sold on this humbled Kratos.
I agree. I get it. I agree. I know people are going to be like, it's fired. Look, the gameplay looked good, but if you got to carry around that kid with you the whole game, I'm not down with that. I'm sorry.
Look at it like this, crap.
Xbox did a great job showing multiple. Bro. Great job.
Yeah, they did.
But the whole God of War thing, look at it like this, crap. And I see, normally it's usually hack and slash and go, but those games didn't do well for Sony. Those people, we would like to talk about God of War, but they didn't really sell well. So the game has to evolve, and maybe they add the whole Last of Us, maybe story element to it. Then maybe.
But next gen, not every game that they got to go through that level to where they have to have these compelling stories. Some people just like to play games.
Hey, you like Until Dawn?
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
I do. I love Until Dawn.
That's what I'm saying. But the game, these games cost a lot to make. It's a business at the end of the day, and maybe they can get a bigger audience by making the game evolve with a deep story aspect to it. I mean.
Let me point this out. There's an article up called "Hey PlayStation, Where'd the Indies Go?" From an 8-game indie slate in 2013 to basically nothing on the big stage at E3. And this is a valid concern. Look, they couldn't have put in 15 more minutes or 10 more minutes of that little dinky show to do some indies. How about showing some love to the people that helped you survive when you had nothing for the first 3 years of your platform's life? You ingrate. Like, seriously, all they had was those walking simulators and stuff, and people loved it. And you had Godzilla. Yeah, and now you don't even show these guys love, man. That's terrible, man. I don't care what anybody says. I, for one, am actually I couldn't be more disappointed with Sony if I tried. Like, I thought EA's was bad. I thought Bethesda's was bad.
But all right, Crab, let me get this straight. So if they would have showed 3 of those games coming out this year, they would have won for you.
If they would have shown, if they would have put God of War and Spider-Man out this year, it would have been it would have probably been a win for them, just for the simple fact of getting big titles out. But the fact that also another thing that I want to bring up, Spider-Man looked completely different than it showed last year. So
they didn't really show gameplay, did they?
Well, they showed something. It would look different, like just the whole action of it. So that was either CG or like just some kind of thing that they whipped up to try to hype people. But this game could possibly be a 2018 holiday or even pushed back even further. And then what about Detroit? Like that game?
Honestly, I think Detroit it showed better last year than this year.
I totally agree with you. It looked a lot better when they were showing the guy and the girl that was coming off off the balcony. That looked very
was intense. It had me intrigued.
It did. Yeah. And now it seemed like that they had to dumb it down because they added that actor in there, and he's like this new protagonist. And it did not look. It didn't look good. Look, man. Look, just everything that Xbox showed looked so much better compared to what we were shown last year, that I think maybe, what Xbox was trying to do this whole time was trying to say, look, this shit is the real deal. The X is the real deal.
Let me ask you guys a question. Let me ask you guys a question. Yeah. I noticed a trend that's been going on with E3 so far.
Gonna give it to you.
With these pressers. I think some games like maybe Detroit and God of War, like, don't you think some of that should have been like walked through, narrated a little bit, maybe for like a minute?
Yeah, we don't have any idea what happened, what's going on with the games. Remember at E3, and I was talking.
But Microsoft didn't do it either, and that's what
I know. That's what I'm saying. E3, like Mooch, didn't you agree with me when I was saying this during the show? Is like, where is the gameplay where the people would be like, okay, here we are, and remember how Rod Ferguson did that last year?
That's something that we saw 2013, 2014, 2015, and it's dwindled down now. And I don't know if it's because they feel it takes too much stage time.
But they only spent 45, 55 minutes, so
I know they had plenty of time. Yeah, they could have done that with like days. The other thing is this. Let me say this. When you said that, I didn't want to interrupt the actual live stream when we were watching it. Do you remember the 2 times Sony did that last and Uncharted 4 froze on screen? Yeah. That freaked them out too. So that's another thing that was a tell, okay, is I've said this for a long time. I'll say it again. I don't think these first-party games are as near as you. When you see 2018, that could be December 31st, 2018. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like, look how long it took Uncharted before it actually came out.
Yes,
Yeah, and it kept Final Fantasy 15. Remember, they had that stuff on stage. Remember the whole thing about the Pro was catching on fire and shit like that? Well, when they were showing it out and somebody recorded it, that game froze. Like, the Pro was not able to push that game. So it could be one of those things that they were freaked out.
We saw no mention of any type of Pro enhanced games at the conference too. Did you notice that?
Yeah. Yeah. And you know what was funny was, I wonder if they had, like, they were going to put Pro enhanced on the side, but since they had, like, Microsoft did that on every game this year. So how are you going to combat that? And people are even noticing they didn't show really any multiplats. And who mentioned that earlier, that Microsoft is showing Battlefront 2 on Xbox One X? And maybe that's why Sony didn't bother to show it on their stage.
It was one of us. It wasn't me, but
maybe it was next gen. Next gen. Did you do that? Hey, I was having my bandage changed. I don't know.
I heard K-Mega turning on Tekken. I had to get the fuck out of here.
What happened?
Hey, I was asking you, was it you that said?
He came in like he's on a propeller.
Yeah, I was asking, was it you that said that maybe Sony didn't show Battlefront 2 because Microsoft was showing it off tomorrow?
Tomorrow, all the deals, Sony has all the big games this holiday season. Microsoft was able to show those games on, I don't know if it was a floor or a show.
They're going to show it on the Daily Show, Xbox Daily Show.
Okay, or in Beam Mix or whatever, running on the Scorpio. So maybe that's why they didn't, and it was so short.
Now, if you're Sony, you just know you threw away your money right there.
Yeah, like, hey, guess what? You spent $120 million. You got.
And there was no decrease in prices. Everybody was projecting that.
I told you guys.
There was the Pro and the VR was going to go down in price.
No, this only ends up helping Microsoft's $499 because Sony's going to be so arrogant that they're going to keep their Pro at $399, and what's going to happen is you're actually going to see people spend the extra $99. $100 for the better console. Yeah. Because listen, at the end of the day, I make the joke all the time. 3-4 years, do it. 365 times the 4 years, or do it for 3 years if you don't want to go out that long. It ends up being 45 cents a day for a console. If you're a gamer, in quotes, okay, I'm a gamer. If you're a gamer for 45 cents a day, if I threw you 50 cents tomorrow and I was like, go have a good time with that 50 cents, you'd be like, what the fuck am I supposed to do with 50 cents? 50 cents a day, you're going to have the best console. And if you're a console gamer, that's cheap as shit. Preach!
Hey, check this out, right? I mean, I guess, a lot of, I guess even us, we're talking, some of you guys were down on the 500 and Sony would just drop the Pro or whatever. I was telling you guys that this is what keeps Sony's lights on. The MPDs, that's just for the fanboys, the bragging. It's all about making more money. And Sony really doesn't have an incentive to do a price drop because the console is still selling well. Why am I going to take off $50 and I got these jokers already paying $250 or $300 for my console? Why the hell am I going to do that? And then when sales slow down, all right, boom, here come a price cut. But they don't have really an incentive to cut the price. You know what I mean? And it is what maybe next year they may take whatever off 50 or or things get bad, but you're not going to see a price cut. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you know what's funny is they're raising it $50 in Canada, the PS4 Pro.
Yeah, they are.
They are. So
another thing, Nintendo's fucking us here too. The games are gonna start coming in at $99.
Who the hell will pay $100
for a Switch
D,
game?
hold on, D. You know your track record ain't too clean.
It's official.
Come on, don't like that, bro.
Use your Twitter fingers and Google it.
Don't like that.
Somebody's wearing some brass knuckles. Goddamn it!
Come on, man. Don't like that.
No, I'm saying what game? $100? What game?
It's there's 2 games that are up for pre-order and they're $100. Nintendo announced the price increase. I can't remember the article. I have it on my computer somewhere.
Please send it. Thank you.
Okay, I'll send it to you on Twitter after.
$100.
Hey, I do know for a fact that the Pro is getting a $50 price increase there, though. That is a legit thing. So
what the fuck?
What?
Price increase?
Yeah, $50 price increase. In Canada. Because it costs more or something like that. So yeah.
No. It's you know what? It's bullshit because the conversion rate they're still charging us an extra $50. So it's bullshit. It's a cash grab, just like what Nintendo's doing. Microsoft is actually the opposite. Some of their games are actually the same price as the States or a little bit cheaper than the conversion. Their console is cheaper than the conversion. And like the Xbox One X, it's $500. Most likely it would be $600 in Canada. You might see that one at $450.
Now, see that would be a huge win. Like, also think about this as well. The Pro in like places like Brazil and other countries like that, the Xbox X is going to sell like hotcakes because it's the cheaper console. And remember, they were out there pushing the X out there. They're going back to Japan again. Don't know why, but they're going to China. They're going over to other markets, and they're going to push this shit. The arrogance that Microsoft is coming with is exactly what Z has been asking for. And now I think the true behemoth, as they are, is now about to show.
Real quick,
smart for them. Look, and also just think about how they combated. They picked and choose which games they wanted to go after. Like, okay, you got PlayStation, got Destiny. Look at what Xbox got from EA, which was that Anthem game. That game looks way better than Destiny. Nobody can say that. I know there's a lot of Destiny fans, but that game looks way
listen,
better.
I'm definitely more stoked for Anthem. Listen, new things always get you more stoked. But listen, there's a guy in the chat. His name was Darian Ars or something like that. He said, "I just woke up. What I missed." Let me shout out to you real quick. You didn't miss shit. And in case you want to see a longer show of what you missed, check out E3 2016 Sony. You'll catch it all right there.
Yeah. Hey, I'll run it down, guys. Uncharted DLC, Horizon Zero Dawn DLC, another Days Gone extended demo, Monster Hunter World, which is coming out next year on Xbox One as well, Shadow of the Colossus remake of the remake that's coming out next year, Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, which is coming out September 18th of this year on Xbox One. Yeah, it looked horrible. Call of Duty World War II, it was some kind of trailer. It wasn't even gameplay, really. Skyrim VR, Star Child VR, The Inpatient VR, Final Fantasy Fishing VR, Bravo Team VR, Moss VR, God of War releasing next year, Detroit Become Human, no release date, Destiny 2, Spider-Man 2018. So the only third part... Yeah, go ahead.
Can we all agree that this E3 is kind of weak?
No.
Well, it's weak.
No,
it's weak if you're Sony.
I mean, compared to all the E3s we've ever seen.
Man, I'm happy about the Scorpio, bro.
I'm very excited.
Listen, I like
Ubisoft.
Bethesda show. Hey, look,
Wolfenstein 2 is nasty. I can't wait to buy that shit. Buy that shit. They want.
But out of all the comments, say, okay, leave Sony and Microsoft out of it, right?
Yeah.
Just as we're thinking about as a whole, we've seen maybe 1 or 2 games in each presser that were impressive.
Ubisoft showed some games today.
Listen.
What, Steve?
All day. Listen. This is what you're missing, all right?
Hey, all day's changing the narrative now. Not now that Sony's had a bad one.
Hey guys, if All Day is on that bullshit,
lose the L.
Hey, put that L in that chat box. And hit that like button.
Hey, all day,
all day crazy,
today.
man. All day.
You know, not someone you don't understand. Boom. We are the enthusiasts. We're the day one guys.
Yeah.
We've never had this much power in the car. We're getting 4K native. Now listen, I'm not hyping up the I don't really care about resolution. We're getting the assets.
All day I told you not to come here and get the lowest work
textures as a console gamer. You know what I mean? Like we never had anything like so. I don't give a fuck. I'm playing Etch-a-Sketch 22. That shit's gonna make my face melt. I'm happy for that. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, like that's just me. You know what I mean? I like
all this shit is subjective as fuck. Anyway,
put out more to Switch.
Well, yeah.
No, this ain't subjective. You got near the 1,500 motherfuckers giving you an L.
Bro,
that shit that you were saying was
retarded,
bro.
You're watching.
You like family to me. You like family to me, and I told you not to come in here and get your head beat to the white meat. I told you not.
It's fine.
I told you not to.
Hey, let me just say this. Do you guys think like even as far as big games that kind of surprises Anthem, I think the gameplay to that blew my mind, being that was actually on the Xbox One X, and that's a multi-plat. So you can imagine that, like, and again, Forza 7, the graphical fidelity is just amazing.
Yeah.
That's what gets me really excited about what's going on with the Xbox One X. Again, also over 60 plus games announced.
Yeah, but crap, we're leaving something out, and I mean this is a serious thing. I'm not even bullshitting. Like you guys all know I'm a Last of Us fan, and I'm gonna be honest with you, from being a Last of Us fan, how dare you not put fucking Last of Us 2 on the biggest stage of the year?
It's not ready yet, bro.
Well, no shit, but why'd you show it at PSX then?
None of those goddamn games was ready.
Why did you show it at PSX? You know, like, my whole point is this. Like, I agree with you all day, but my thing is this. So they were leading us to believe. There was people saying that Last of Us will come out in 2018. That shit ain't coming out till PS5.
Yeah, PS5, sure.
That's PS5. Or the very tail end, like when Last of Us first came out, was the very end of the PS3 era.
And the same thing's gonna happen again,
right? Maybe that'll be. But like that's leading your customer down the wrong road, right?
I'll be honest. When Microsoft is like, "Hey, console launch exclusive," I think that's stupid. I call them out for that.
See,
Sony's showing games 5 years out. That's worse. That's the same thing. That's lying to your customers. What is Death Stranding, a PS4 game or a PS5 game?
Death Stranding is not. If it's coming out for a PS4 Pro, it's coming out the very last year.
It's not. It's not. It's going to be a PS5 at launch time.
Death Stranding is PS5 100%.
But they use it to hype. They use it to hype things. And last year at Jeff Keighley, who must be like really upset because Sony got totally like that was awful. So he must be like, man, and like calling up Kojima. Did you see? Did you see? It was so bad. There's nothing.
You know what? I don't do shit like this because what I'm going to say is kind of fanboyish or
I can't wait to hear it. Go ahead.
No. I'm going to say but this is just a principle, right? Even if Keighley did this to Sony, I would be standing up for Sony saying, look, that's bullshit. You don't give out prices. You don't leak anything before the fucking show.
Definitely hurt his image.
So this is the thing I'm going to be asking all gamers. This isn't just because of the Xbox gamers, whatever. Fuck the VGAs. You know that they're going to be bullshit anyway. Zelda's going to win Game of the goddamn year. Persona's going to be up there. But the fact of it is that, look, we cannot, as gamers, allow that type of rhetoric to keep going on because that's the cancer. The fucking media is the goddamn cancer to gaming, man. Fuck them. Ban the goddamn VGA.
You know what the media wanted? The media really wanted Microsoft to lose. They they were like Microsoft. Like before the thing, there was an article from Polygon. Sony can kill off the Xbox right here tonight. You know what I mean? Like, seriously, if they cut the price of the Pro and they show these games and Sony came out, Sean Layden came out, pulled down his pants and shit a turd. Like, that was what he did on stage. And everyone was like, yeah. And not only that, they showed this stuff in theaters. They're like, watch Sony's E3 at the theater. So
my popcorn would have got tossed.
Exactly. You wait all day. You wait to get into this theater, and it's a 55-minute show, and it's the exact same show you saw last year, except for they changed up the band.
Maybe Sony should have their own day because it was too short.
That was horrible.
It was too short.
That was absolutely horrible.
They have their own day. It was PSX where they showed us Last of Us 2. That's not even close to fucking being ready. Thanks.
Sony. Yeah. Horrible. Absolutely horrible. There's not really anything else I could say about it. I'm going to go around the room and get your guys' thoughts and grade all day. give me your thoughts real quick and what grade you give this Sony conference.
But let me explain right here now. Look,
the hippity to the hippity hop.
Yeah, but the hippity hop. K-Mega. Hey, we're doing it live. We're doing it live.
Doing it live.
You gotta
this is a fact. But nah, I mean, for me, it showed the games I cared about, but I cared about them last year as well. So I seen more of it. I was excited. Disappointed with the release dates, not really hearing much. But I'm still excited nonetheless. I think both sides offered everything, that we, are looking forward to. But I give it a B just because I cared about those games more than I did Crackdown 3. You can't forget about Crackdown 2. Never forget.
Okay, well, that's your opinion. D, what do you think, man?
I'm speechless, man. It was pretty pathetic show. It's like a continuation from last year's. Like I said, I just can't believe these games are really not coming out this year. Like I thought for sure Spider-Man would come out and maybe God of War at the end of the year. But these games are coming out to next year, and they didn't even nail down like a date. Like some of them just said nothing. Some of them said 2018. Some of them said early 2018. Like, and Sony, they always push games back too. So like, who fucking knows when these games are coming out? Right. And how gamers can say, oh, Sony can do no wrong. Honestly, put the bias shit aside. Put what box you like the best aside. They had a poor showing aside from the 3 games that we already knew about, that we already saw. Okay, we saw more. Yes, they looked great, but they're not coming out yet, and we don't know when. Come on.
Yeah. So what would you give it? What score?
I'll give it a C-, man.
Okay. C-. That's better than I thought you gave it. Xbot, what's your thoughts and what do you give it?
As far as thoughts, first of all, short as shit. Never seen that before. I swear to God. Like I was expecting a nice 90-minute, what we usually expect, and they didn't give that to us. Fucking release dates suck ass. It was if it wasn't for the Spider-Man gameplay at the end, man, I would have went a lot lower. But I'm actually looking forward to Days Gone if they actually even give it a roundabout release date, but we have no idea.
Oh, I'm sure we're in for another gameplay of it next year too. So that's
and next year it will be a vague release. It'll be like early 2019.
2019,
yeah, exactly.
Question mark?
So I'll give it a C.
I got a laugh from Mooch.
Mooch was right. I forgot. I think it was Mooch who said it about the Spider-Man downgrade as well. Because I don't know if you noticed, I did see there was fuzziness in the textures in certain areas. I did see the webbing graphics didn't look right. But at the end of the day, the combos looked amazing. The overall game looked amazing, and if that saved it for me, I'm going to give it a C, dude.
Okay, so a C from Xbot. Pretty good average score for you. K-Mega, what are you giving it?
What we gonna talk about now? Okay, hold on.
K-Mega's about to give you his response shaped like an arrow.
I brought my assistant, and I just wanted to say something about the PS conference. Hey Google, what is my favorite phrase?
Don't be corny.
You told me that you like send them to Hades.
Okay, so therefore, as my assistant just said, send that motherfucking shit to Hades. I give the PlayStation events. I give it a motherfucking D+. I give it a D+. Spider-Man sold me better than God of War. That was a fail for God of War, in my opinion. Spider-Man looked absolutely fantastic. Days Gone looked good, but the sad thing about this is that for 2017, the only thing that I look forward to buying is Tekken 7 for the PlayStation 4. So rack them up, bitches.
Hey, it's going to be 4K on
you should get
Xbox One X.
Yeah, it's getting enhanced. Yeah.
It's only 1080p on the enhanced PS4 Pro. Just saying.
Well, I got Tekken 7. I got Tekken 7 already, but I mean, I want to go over there and whoop some PlayStation dude's ass in Tekken. So I'm going to buy that. But that's really going to be probably the last game that I buy for the PlayStation 4 is Tekken 7 because I'm so disappointed with GT. You know what I'm saying? Noonie Cooney. I like that game, but it's not.
What the fuck is Noonie Cooney?
It's an RPG. It looks really good. It was a great game on PS3.
I don't know if you did, but I did.
Yeah, it was a great game. It was a great game.
Yeah.
But you know what? But no, it was a D plus. You do not be the console leader, come out as arrogant as you do. You brag about fucking indies. You brag about the great titles that you have, and then the first thing that you show us in the show is DLC, something that we knew that was odd because PlayStation don't really add DLC to their titles. They just, you know, it was a sad event. It was a sad event. But you know what? I did. But you know what? Hey, for all gamers out there, there were games that I could say that I would definitely buy when they eventually come out and actually have some fucking dates. So
yeah, again, yes. I'm not saying they had all bad games. I'm just saying it's terrible that they're showing these games again and they're not releasing this year again. So that's kind of disappointing to me. Mooch, what do you think, man? What do you think and what score?
Well, here's the thing. So let's just break down the evidence first and foremost. 60-minute show. That's not acceptable. I don't care what you're a fan of. Okay, that's not acceptable. Not especially being the market leader. Number two, this was the same show we saw last year, but Sean Layden wore clothes that fit. That's number two. Then you've got the fact that you started the show off with DLC. That was a concern. Crap brought it up. I thought about it. I was like, well, maybe I should comment and make a joke about this. But I'm like, nah, let me wait and see because maybe they're just kind of revving the engine up and then starting up something big. They never got to that. Then you've got The Last of Us 2, which is something I was looking forward to. Okay, that's something that I personally was looking forward to. And they didn't even have it. Neil Druckmann is home living the life of Vinny Chase from Entourage right now, okay? He's got 6 bitches on his lap and smoking a joint, watching it from his home on a 120-foot fucking projection screen. This son of a bitch wasn't even in the studio. This is your main guy, not even there, okay? That's not acceptable. The audience was falling asleep, and the orchestra came back. All of that combined, okay, it's a C minus. It's a C minus, and the reason I'm not going to go lower is because I will tell you this much, okay? People like to say, "Oh, Mooch, you just hate. Mooch, you just hate." No, I'm going to enjoy Days Gone. I'm going to enjoy Spider-Man, and I'm going to get God of War 4. But unfortunately, as great as those titles may have looked, that's not enough because we did not, on none of those titles, get a day and date for the release yet. How dare you have a PlayStation 4 out and you haven't had a God of War out yet? What are you doing over there? Okay? Yeah. What are you doing over there? Spider-Man the movie, there's been 2 fucking Spider-Man movies made since the PS4 came out. Can we get a game? No, we just see 2018. And let me pay D Batch a little bit of credit. He said something that everyone's got to understand. When Sony says a date, an actual date, it still can move. If you don't believe me, Uncharted 4 got a date. It moved twice, okay? This is a year. And I tell you again, when you see 2018, that means the end of 2018. And if you think Sony won't delay it again, you got another thing coming, and you may be new to gaming. So this is a major problem. And if you want to take everything I just said and throw it out the window thinking I'm just an Xbox fanboy, that's fine. The fact that it was 60 minutes shows concern. It shows a problem.
I'm more concerned about that than I am of Microsoft's lack of first-party studios. You know, to be honest with you, like these Sony conferences get shorter and shorter. They're taking away the indies that took them to the dance. Like, I mean, what grade would you give it?
I said a C minus. That's what I'm giving it. I mean, listen, you can go lower, Crap, but you know, and I give K Mega credit for actually saying D. I don't know if anyone else will give it a D, but I mean, the show itself was lackluster, and the audience. You don't believe me? Listen, we're all fanboys, right? Right? Everyone is going to discredit what we say anyway. Go watch the show and check out the fucking audience. And then come back and watch this show again.
I agree 100%. Look, Jamie Moran tweeted out their list of the 6 big games they announced last year, and they all said like in development or whatever. God of War in development last year, still in development this year. Days Gone in development last year, still in development this year. Horizon Zero Dawn that did release. Detroit Become Human in development last year, still in development. Death Stranding in development last year, still in development. Spider-Man in development last year, still in development. Look, they're giving you guys games or they're showing you guys games and they're not giving them to you for years. They're going to get increasingly called out for doing this. I much like Phil Spencer's approach to it. Now, if he doesn't give us stuff in the future, then that's on him, and then we can call him out for that. But giving us games that are going to release within the next year is very smart. We're getting this might be the first E3 where we get everything at Microsoft's conference that they showed. Everything that they showed, we might get that all released before next E3. Like that would be a huge, like the percentage is going to be really high of what they showed to what released and what they
showed 42 games.
43 games. 43.
Yeah, compared to So just to recap, Sony showed 15 games, 2 DLCs. 6 of these were VR games. So out of the 15 games, 9 were re-reveal games that we already knew about. So, if you guys think that Sony won that, man, I don't know what to say. You might want to go get checked for brain damage. Next gen 720. What do you think and what grade?
Grade? I will say this. I like Sony's presentation and what they do. You know, they're into movies. They do put on a good show with with the lights and shit. I like that. But like I said, the games that I've always been interested, like I said, the Days Gone, the Spider-Man, and God of War, I'm really, really excited about them. Those looked well. They looked even better than me. But overall, the show, the VR shit, no. The Monster Hunter is a multiplayer. If you don't know, I'm just not into that. You know what I mean? So if I had to, again, I don't know if I'll give it a grade, but compared to Microsoft's show, not to be a fanboy, I think Microsoft, clearly gets the win. I know they probably can't say. Now they're saying. Now I see read the comment. Oh, E3 was shit this year. Nobody won. Here they go with that shit here again.
Sony was the winner already until they crapped the bed, man. Get out of here with that.
When they show a Nintendo game, that's what's going to be the thing tomorrow. Is
Nintendo show Mario? Oh, they wanted to be.
Hey, that's what's going to happen, and the reach is real. Xbox fans, you got nothing to be ashamed of. You guys had a great conference. They showed games.
That was dog shit. They showed bad.
They showed games. Look, I was impressed with Spider-Man. Days Gone did nothing for me. Sorry. I know you guys are into it. That's just my opinion. Yeah. Spider-Man looked good. Again, God of War. I was less impressed this year, and apparently that was running on the PS4 Vanilla, not a Pro. So hence the downgrade. So I'm just saying nothing too impressive what they showed. And all those marketing deals, and the only multiplayer they showed was Destiny 2 and Call of Duty and Monster Hunter. Like those are the only new
Marvel vs. Capcom.
Marvel vs. Capcom as well. So they showed
Infinite,
four multiplats, and I mean, I'm actually, it blows my mind that they had such a piss poor E3. Like, there's really no excuse for that.
No Red Dead either.
Yeah, no Red Dead, no From Software game, no Bloodborne 2, nothing. They literally just brought nothing to.
But they bought those rights. And what's another thing is that it's sad because Ubisoft is usually the ass end of jokes on E3, but there were two game trailers that actually outdid what Sony did, except for Spider-Man. Spider-Man, like I said, was absolutely breathtaking. But that Beyond Evil 2,
Beyond Good and Evil 2.
Beyond Good and Evil 2.
Oh my God, I almost
that shit was absolutely.
I have to tell you that Evil Within 2 looked really good on Bethesda too.
Let me ask you guys a question. Do you guys think that the show was maybe cut in half for PSX?
If they did, that's a terrible idea. Or maybe it was cut in half for Gamescom.
The X will be already out. People will already be seeing the power. People will already be buying 4K television.
Here's the deal, though. But in all previous years, nobody gave any other company a pass, saying, "Well, the reason why they didn't really show anything is because they're keeping it for Gamescom or they're keeping it for their own thing." Yeah. This is the biggest stage in gaming. Yeah. All right, you don't hold that shit back. You know what I'm saying?
This is the mecca of gaming, and I think that we thank you, alternate K Mega. You know what I'm saying?
No doubt.
Yeah, no doubt. And this is the mecca of gaming, man. Everybody was thinking at first that Gamescom was trying to get that lead, but this right here shows how important E3 is to all of us gamers, and for PlayStation to lay an egg like this when they had all the momentum coming into this show actually shows that PlayStation, in my opinion, is in trouble financially because they spent too much money on those marketing.
Those are Phil Spencer looks like a goddamn genius right now, not buying those marketing rights. Bravo, Phil. Bravo. You didn't waste all that money on marketing rights. What can I say? You look like a genius because the way E3 is now, you're not having people out on stage explaining your shit anyway. Right. So, I mean, that's it. I mean, anyway, guys, I want to thank you all for joining us. Well over almost 1,600 people here early. Not too bad for a little BGST hybrid kind of show. Thank all you guys. Make sure you guys subscribe to all these people's channels. Check
support all of that, and especially All Day. And just for me, just for my satisfaction, when you subscribe to All Day's channel, make sure you give them a K Mega L for me. Thank you.
Hey, someone in the chat's like Milk Halo series, but okay, this is 8th Gran Turismo. There's like 8 or 9 God of Wars, but yeah, let's keep calling Halo Milk, folks. Let's get real. There's 12.
Yo, crap! How many did they sell in 3 months for Halo 5? Like,
5 million. 5 million.
Over 5 million. Yeah. Don't worry about it.
This is back-to-back year. They're releasing another Uncharted. Uncharted has more games per year than Halo. So yeah, do the math, folks. I know you guys aren't good at math because you come from Mark Cerny's school of math, where you can do different things with flops and all that.
They listen to Barney Rubble's math, and that fucks up a lot of people. So.
Just make sure next year when they show Halo 6, Locke dies in the first scene.
Oh,
you just had to throw a jab. Hey, hashtag save block. Fuck you all day.
Hey, speaking of black action heroes, I noticed in the Crackdown trailer that 3 of the 4 heroes were all black. You guys know?
Yeah, they're all K-Mega.
Well, it might. Thank you. I like that shit. You know what? Terry Crews is my brother. They had a.
Terry Crews on that thing was awesome. Terry Crews is amazing.
Yeah,
he was amazing.
Funny as hell.
And that tells you right there the advertising is going to be fucking dope for Crackdown 3. I can't wait, guys. I cannot wait.
Yeah, it looks great. You know what? I want to get everybody out of here though, because I know everybody's got to work and stuff like that. I appreciate you guys joining me. I know it's kind of a pain in the ass to switch from channels, but we've been doing this. I think this is like our 3rd or 4th E3 doing this. We really appreciate you guys, man. You guys help us along, man. Hit that like and check everybody's channel out. We'll catch you next time. Rack 'em up.